Clap it up! Clap it up!
So this morning, we have some barbers who decided to take their day off to come out here and support you all. Let's give them a round of applause.
I think you guys are going to really enjoy the discussion that we're about to have. We have some really great panelists that's going to provide some really helpful information. We have Mr. John McMillan, we have Dr. Andre Hall, and we have Captain Daryl Whitaker. They will come forward in a moment and tell you a little bit about themselves. I won't attempt to do so. As Mr. Davis stated, my name is Antonio Jackson, and I'm the Dean of Arts and Humanities at Fayetteville Technical Community College. Before we dig into the discussion, I want to kind of frame it a little bit just to kind of guide where we're going and what we're going to be talking about. Because the theme is character building. And I just want to impress upon you how important character building is. Some of you will experience challenges, hardships, difficulty. Difficult things are going to happen to you that may not happen to somebody else. But what do you use when you encounter those challenging and difficult situations? When I was growing up, we would run around the neighborhood and we would play with each other. We would fight. Play fight. Sometimes it was real fight. I'm not trying to encourage you to fight, okay? And when you were not looking, if you weren't looking and you didn't expect it, that's when we would attack the person. So like if me and John, we grew up together. So we would always play. So we would be walking down the street, and when he doesn't suspect that I was going to do anything, that's when I would attack. Why? Because that would give me the advantage, right? And when I would do so, he would get up and say, "Hey man, you stole me." Have you ever somebody ever said that he stole off on me? Right. So what I want to say to you is that life will steal you. When you least expect it, something will happen, something will occur that will really knock you off your feet. But when that does occur, my question for you guys is, what will you have to rebound from that difficult experience? What will you use to navigate through that challenging situation? For some of you, you will experience some mental, some emotional challenges, meaning some of you will have issues just within yourself. Some of you will have you will have a lack of resources. There are things you may want to accomplish, but you may not have the means of accomplishing those things. So when I say it doesn't create an equal playing field, everybody's going to be faced with some type of challenge, but the question becomes, what will you do to get through that challenging situation? And I think the information that these gentlemen are going to share with you today will provide you with that information that you can use as you encounter. Some of you are young, so maybe you haven't experienced anything difficult yet. Some of you have. But trust me when I say you will experience some type of challenge.
My name is Andre Hall. I'm a medical doctor. I've been a doctor now for about 27, 28 years. I've been practicing in Fayetteville for 20 years. Some of you I may have delivered. I deliver babies for a living. The reason why I asked you all how old you are is because I decided I wanted to become a doctor at age 12. And it's not that you have to make the decision at age 12, but to become a doctor, you have to make the decision, and then you've got to put some things in place to do that.
Right? Because I'm going to engage you in conversation eventually, but right now I got something to say. All right? So I just didn't come out here just to come out here, but I came out here because there is something that very special that I feel as though maybe God sent me out to drop into your spirit, right? So here's the thing: who said they want to be a gospel rapper? Come up here. What is your name? What's your name? Davon. How you doing, Davon? You know my name? I haven't introduced myself yet, but I will. So look, can you give us a little something right now? All right, can I give you a beat? You ready?
Man, that's my pleasure. And all you gotta do is have the faith of a feather. Hey, God is my friend to me, he ain't no enemy. A warrior and a leader is what I'm finna be. I know the ways of the devil is like an enemy, but a friend to God is what I tend to be. He might catch you in the mood. You might have friends that you know you about to lose. My friend named God said all I had to do is have a little faith, and I can tell him I am motivated. It's true now. It ain't scary now. It ain't scary, but you can be blessed like Virgin Mary.
Hey! My name is John A. McMillan, Jr., right? I have an identical twin who looks just like me. He's a principal too, all right? Some of y'all go to my wife's school, she's a principal as well. So I grew up with a family of 11, 7 boys, 4 girls. So in my immediate household, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in my family. So when I grew up, this is my story. I didn't grow up with my dad. My dad is in prison. He's been in prison ever since I was in the 12th grade. He's been in prison. As a matter of fact, he gets out next year. So my dad wasn't a part of my life. I didn't grow up with my father. I don't know what it's like to relate to a dad. I don't have that type of experience, right? So I grew up without my father. My mom, she's deceased. For those that don't know what that means, she's dead. So I don't have any parents, right? When I grew up poor. I don't know what y'all, I don't know if y'all understand what, back then it was food stamps, government assistance, they would give you money, right? If you didn't have enough money in your household. That's the way I grew up. I didn't grow up, on Christmases and finding things up under the tree. Nah, that wasn't me. That's not my story. I would make up on Christmases and I would be angry. I would be upset because there was nothing under the tree. When it was time to go back to school, you know what? I didn't have the school clothes. I didn't have Jordans. I've never owned a pair of Jordans. I mean, I can buy some now if I choose to, but I've never owned a pair of Jordans. So my thing is, I didn't have what the other kids, middle class, or the kids that are above middle class, I didn't have what they had. You understand what I'm saying? I was not the smartest person in school, in my family. My twin brother and I, we were not. But we were the first 2 to graduate from a 4-year college. You understand what I'm saying? I played sports. I did that. I played football. Got a scholarship to Virginia State University, right? That seemed good, right? But I really wasn't focused. So raise your hand if you're an athlete. Let me tell you something. You put your hands down. Make sure you do what you need to do in your classes to score the scores that you need to score on the ACT test or the SAT test. Those are the tests that you take to get into school. You don't just go to college. You have to take those tests. So my thing is, I didn't score high enough so I can receive the scholarship to go to Virginia State University. So I had to end up coming back home. And then I ended up enrolling into Fayetteville State University, which I am an alumni, and I'm proud of that. But my thing is, it's not the situation that you come up in, it's what you do in that situation. It's what you make of it. So I just want to encourage each and every one of you on today. You are somebody. You can be whatever it is that you want to be. That gospel rapper, you got the talent, you got the skill. Now you may not stay in Fayetteville and do that, but you might have to go to LA, you might have to go to New York. But you got to take it and you got to run with it. You want to be the president of the United States, you can do that. Whatever you're gonna do in life, you're gonna have to be responsible for you. You can't be responsible for anybody else, but you have to be responsible for you. And that's going to be hard work. Nothing is going to come to you easy. Nothing will come to you easy. So I want to say to each and every one of you, and I want to speak to doubt. So because a lot of y'all say, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, but then your actions don't line up because there may be a level of doubt. You see people in your family and they weren't successful, right? So you thinking, well, so-and-so didn't do anything, that means I'm not going to do anything either. No, that's a lie. So I want to speak to anybody that may have doubt, that may have low self-esteem. Please understand that you can and you will be successful. Successful will look different from everybody in this room. Somebody may say, look, I want to be my own mechanic. Somebody say I may want to be a preacher. Somebody want to be the president. Somebody may want to be a doctor. It looks different from every person in this room. So when you accomplish whatever your goals are, then you are successful.
There was people in my path and also with some self-dedication. My father put his hands on my mom, and I was determined I'm not going to do that to a woman. My father drank, and I was determined I was not going to drink. So you have to make that decision for yourself. And when you hang out with your boys who want to do those things, you got to make a decision for yourself. Because you make the wrong decision, then you have come see me in a different light, and it won't be this kind of discussion. I will tell you this, if you're making those wrong decisions, and you don't have the intestinal fortitude to say no, you got to find another group of kids on that playground. If you got somebody who don't want to hustle hard, doing the football practice, basketball practice, in the rap studio, you got to find another group of folks.
This is for Dr. Hall. How do you feel about your job?
I really enjoy my job. I feel like I make a huge difference.
Well, like a month ago, my grandma just passed away. And like, it's me and my mom, but my grandma was my mom. If you understand what I mean. So, when your mother died, how did that take a turn?
Man, it cost me a marriage. I went through a divorce. All right. What I mean by that is it pained me and it hurt me. And what I did was I shut down and I stopped communicating. So what I would say to you, just like you standing there right there, make sure you have somebody you can talk to. Make sure that you can communicate. Make sure that you talk. Because what happens is, as young men, no one teaches us how to grieve, because that's what it is, right? It's okay for you to miss her. No one teaches us how to deal with those things. And so I didn't know how to deal with it. So the way I dealt with it was I shut down. I stopped speaking. So if I have a relationship with you, it's going to be built on communication. All relationships are built on communication. When that dies, the relationship ends. So what I say to you, keep communicating. Keep expressing your thoughts. Keep expressing your thoughts about her. That way you can get it all out. Have somebody you can talk to.
Reaching our goal, we all have like our breaking points where we just want to quit. What made y'all like keep going? Like what motivated y'all?
There are so many obstacles that regardless of what you decide to do, they're going to be in your way. And for me, I refuse to fail. When I say failure is not an option, it does not mean that you may not come across something that you fail at. But what you need to do is when that happens, you need to figure out what you need to do to become successful.
What makes me not want to give up is two things. I think we talked about it earlier. You got to surround yourself with people that have that drive. So don't surround yourself with people that be like, man, why are you doing that? Well, I'm gonna stop. They may start something with you and then they'll say, well, look, I'm gonna quit. So surround yourself with positivity, positive people. That's one thing that you have to do, right? Because they're gonna encourage you and say, no, man, you can't give up. We gotta keep going, we gotta keep going. That's one thing I did. The other thing is, when it gets beyond that, beyond your positive circle and your positive people, sometimes you've done all that you can do and you still wanna give up, even with your positive circle. So that's when I lean on my help in Christ. Right? Because there's something that's beyond me that pushes me to keep on going. Because sometimes that is real. You just feel like giving up. I'm a doctoral student right now, trying to become a doctor, not a medical doctor. But I should graduate the end of the year, Mr. Jackson and myself. And there are times where I feel like giving up. So there has to be something beyond sometimes your positive circle that's supernatural that keeps you going. And that keeps me going. That's my faith in Christ.
One of the things that when I was growing up, that helped me to stay balanced is these guys are saying that hang around positive people. If you hang around the positive people, when you want to slip up or they want to slip up, you kind of balance one another out until you get your act together. And that's what I did. When the going got tough, I didn't run away, but I stayed with a good group of friends of mine. Not perfect, but we didn't do crazy things. And then that goes back to you guys. If you're the smartest person in your group of friends, then find another group of friends. If you're the smartest one, you got to find another group. It's not going to work. Because when you have that hard time and they're slipping, you can't hold up the whole game.